All right, so we'll come to Samastitihi. Top of the mat, feet together. And if you'd like, you can close the eyes. Taking a moment here to settle in. Settle the attention inwards into the space of the body. Settle the attention on the breath, moving in and out through the nostrils. Settle the bottom of the feet to make contact into the earth, so feel that heaviness there. And taking a couple of deep breaths here. Drawing in the lower belly and allowing the diaphragm to fully expand, the lower ribs to fully expand out in all directions. And we'll bring the palms to heart center for the opening mantra. You can join me or just listen. Inhale, deep breath in. Vande Gurunam Charanarvinde Sandarshita Swatma Sukhavabode Nishreyase Jangalikayamane Samsara Hala Hala Mohashantye Abahu Purushakaram Shankhachakrasidharinam Sahasra Shirasam Shwetam Pranamami Patanjalim. Exhale, bring the arms back down to the side. And we'll start with Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, arms over your head, palms touch. Exhale, fold. Fully exhaling. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, easy step back. Stay in high plank, or you can come down to Chaturanga, lower the knees if you'd like. Inhale into Cobra or upward facing dog, so the thighs can stay on the floor or not. Exhale into downward facing dog. You can move through tabletop or just make your way straight there. Settling into downward facing dog, establishing the breath. Matching the length of the inhales to the length of the exhales and finding a pace that works for you. So finding a full breath in and a full breath out without forcing the breath to be any particular length, without straining the breath or pushing and pulling the breath. So allowing the breath to unfold within the space of technique, toning the vocal cords, and drawing in the lowest part of the lower belly just above the pubic bone. We'll take one more breath here. Fully exhale. And then make your way to the top. Half lift as you inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to stand. Pressing through the feet as you reach the arms up. Exhale, floating the arms back down to Samastitihi. Good, we'll do that just like that. Same thing. Inhale, arms over your head. Exhale, fold, fully exhaling. Inhale, half lift, lengthening the spine. Exhale, step or jump back. Slowly bend the elbows. Again, you can lower the knees. Inhale, point the toes, lift the heart. Upward facing dog or cobra. Maybe the thighs are resting. Exhale into downward facing dog. Or child's pose if you need to take a rest. At any moment in the class, feel free to take child's pose. Settling in, focusing the mind on the breath, moving in and out through the nostrils. And as you breathe in, Feel that three-dimensional breath, the rib cage, the lower ribs, expanding out in all directions. Good, as you keep pressing through the hands, reaching the sit bones up and back. Take one more breath here. Fully exhale. Step or jump to the top, half lift as you inhale. Press the feet into the mat. Exhale, fold. Keep the legs strong as you draw the lower belly in and fold. Inhale, come to stand. Press through the feet. Shift back over the heels as you drop the tailbone. Exhale, Samastitihi. Again, inhale, shift back. Tailbone gets heavy as you lift through the rib cage. Exhale, up and over as you fold. Inhale, half lift. Again, press the feet down. Exhale, step or jump back. Tone the lower belly as you bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Maybe this time lifting the thighs and reaching back through the toes, or keep the thighs on the floor, always an option. Exhale into downward facing dog or child's pose. And as you press through the hands, make sure you keep pressing through the base of the pointer finger. Sometimes that tends to lift. Really root down through the entire hand, especially the insides of the hand. As you wrap the shoulder blades, spread the upper back and reach the sit bones away from the hands. One more full breath here. Fully exhaling. Step or jump into half lift. Draw the lower belly in as you lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Fully exhaling. Inhale, come to stand. Pressing down, reaching up. Exhale, float the arms as you reach up through the crown of the head. Last Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, arms over your head. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Slowly bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Reach back through the toes, lift up through the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, or child's pose. Settle into the breath. Steady breathing. Resting the mind on the breath, on the pathway of the breath, the quality of the breath. One more. Fully exhaling. Step or jump into half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to stand, pressing down, reaching up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Surya Namaskar B. The first time I'll add in those extra breaths. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, lift the arms and the heart into Utkatasana. Exhale, folds forward as you straighten the legs as much as it's comfortable. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Bend the elbows, lower the knees if you need to. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, as you start to turn the left foot, exhale, right foot forward. Inhale, come up into Virabhadrasana. Exhale, frame the right foot. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, turn the right foot 45 degrees. Exhale, left foot forward. Inhale, rise up as you press through the feet. Exhale, frame the left foot. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose. So it's just a slightly more accessible vinyasa count. Accessible way to place the breath mindfully with each movement, allowing for extra breaths. Settling in, feel the heat starting to build from the inside out. Settling the attention on the breath. Keeping the attention inwards. Let's take one more here. Fully exhale. Step or jump to the top. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, bend the knees back into Utkatasana. Arms over your head. Exhale, Samastitihi. And now I'll do the vinyasa counting with less breaths, but feel free to take those extra breaths if you need to. Inhale, bend the knees, reach the arms up. Utkatasana. Exhale, fold as you straighten the legs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot forward. Come up, Virabhadrasana. Exhale, come back down, step back and bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot forward, inhale. Rising up to Virabhadrasana, arms over the head. Exhale, make your way back down. Step back, bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just notice if you prefer one vinyasa pattern over another. One's not better than the other. What's important here, what the technique is here, is mindfully placing the breath. Placing the breath in a particular place, in a particular way, instead of just letting the breath be chaotic and sporadic. We're being really intentional about how and where we place the breath. One more here. On your next exhale, fully exhale. Step or jump to the top. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, bend the knees. Reach the arms up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Good. Bring the feet hip-width distance apart. Inhale, fold forward. Catch the big toes. Bend the knees if you need to. Exhale as you fold. And as you fold and round the spine slightly, also lengthen the spine. So keep reaching the crown of the head, the heart towards the floor. Relax the neck. Keep the legs strong, whether the legs are straight or bent. They're stable. Steady breathing. As you exhale, feel the spine releasing, the neck releasing. On your next inhale, straighten the arms, lift the heart. Fully exhale. Padahastasana, slide the hands underneath the feet. Inhale again, lengthen the spine. Exhale, keep lengthening as you fold. And then you can use the arms underneath the feet to help you pull a little bit closer if the space allows. So make as if you're going to pull the hands out from under the feet, but they don't go anywhere because you're stepping on the hands. And instead you're drawn a little bit closer towards the legs and the crown of the head towards the floor. Keep the legs strong and bend the knees as much as you need to. One more breath here. Fully exhale. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale there. Inhale, come all the way up to the top into Samastitihi. Uttita Parshva Konasana. We're going to step the right foot back. We're skipping Trikonasana. Wide stance, pivot the right toes towards the back of the mat. Exhale, bend into the right knee and either bring the right hand to the floor or the right forearm to the thigh. Reach the left arm over your head. Good. Strong legs. Keep bending into the right knee as you reach through the left pinkies. So make sure that the pinky side of the left hand is pointing towards the floor to help wrap the shoulder blade around towards the front so you're protracting the shoulder. Draw the lower belly in. One more breath. Fully exhale. Come up on your inhale. Straighten the legs. Pivot the feet. Exhale, left side. Keeping that left knee over the left ankle. Keep bending into the left knee. As you reach through the right pinky, press through the outside edge of the right foot. Draw the lower belly in. Maybe see if you can spin the chest towards the ceiling without arching the back, without going into a back bend. Last breath. Fully exhale. Inhale, rise up. Pivot around for the twisting version. So you can come down to your left knee or stay lifted. Inhale, reach through the left hand. Exhale, round the spine. Drop the tailbone as you twist. You can either bring the elbow to the thigh or the shoulder to the outside of the knee. In which case you can place the hand. If not, just keep the hands in prayer. Maybe lifting the back knee. Find your balance. Keep dropping the tailbone and rounding the spine as you reach the heart forward and up. Good. That back heel can be lifted, or you can bring the heel down to bring the left foot to 45 degrees. That deepens the twist. One more breath. And then if you like, on the exhale, gaze down for balance. Inhale. Coming out of it, pivot around to the front, reach through the right arm. Exhale, twist as you round. Good, find your version. Keep that back leg strong. So if the heel is lifted, maybe reaching back through the right heel. Moving the left sit bone back and towards the midline. Open up the space between the left hip and the left side of the rib cage. One more breath. Exhale, gaze down. Inhale, open to the side. Exhale, Samasthiti. Inhale, step the right foot back. Hands to the hips. Exhale, fold forward, hands to the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Crown of the head towards the mat. Maybe walking the hands back. Legs are strong. Drawing the lower belly in and settling the attention on the breath. One more. Stay with the breath. On your next inhale, straighten the arms, lengthen the spine, fully exhale without rushing. Inhale, let the tailbone be heavy as you rise up. Keep the lower belly drawn in. Exhale at the top and settle. Skip to C. Inhale, reach the arms out. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale. Straightening the arms if possible. Exhale, fold. As you keep straightening, allow the hands to move away from the hips, softening the shoulders and the neck. Maybe allowing the shoulder blades to move away from each other. With only a little bit of attention, reaching the hands away from the hips without forcing the hands towards the floor. Seeing if you can allow the exhales to support you in relaxing and releasing. One more breath here. On your next inhale, coming all the way up, press through the feet. Tailbone is heavy. Exhaling at the top. Let's do one more here. D. Inhale, hands to your hips. Exhale, fold forward, catch the big toes. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Crown of the head is lightly touching the floor, if at all. Moving the shoulders away from the ears with a gentle grip on the big toes. Maybe shifting the weight forward a little bit to the balls of the feet. One more breath. Keep the legs strong. Lifting the kneecaps. On your next inhale, straighten the arms, lift the heart. Fully exhale. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhaling back into Samasthiti. Good. All right. Inhale. Let's do the standing balancing posture. Ardha Baddha Konasana. So this one is the one that we do Lotus. So it might be too soon to do Lotus for some of you. So you could always do a figure four with the standing leg is slightly bent. So we'll start lifting the right. And then when you fold forward, this is actually a really nice stretch for the glutes. If you want to go straight into the Lotus, close the right knee joint, bring the foot towards the hip. Maybe taking the bind, wrapping the right arm behind the back. Exhale, folds forward, and bringing either both hands to the floor or just the left hand to the floor. And again, if you need to bend that standing leg a little bit, just to help you find stability, to help you find the 3 points in the left foot rooting down behind the big toe, behind the pinky toe, and down through the center of the heel as you lift through the arch. Maybe once you're down, you feel stable, then you can wrap the right arm behind, maybe catching the big toe side of the right foot. Let's take one more breath here. Inhale, lift the heart, fully exhale without rushing. You're going to press through the left foot, tailbone gets heavy to come all the way up as you reach the right knee back if it's in Lotus. Exhale, release. Good. Shake out the standing leg if you want to. Shift into the right foot and either bring the left leg into the figure four or slide the foot all the way up to the hip crease. Maybe taking the bind. So when you bind, you spin the thumb down and catch with the palm facing down, catch the big toe side of the foot. When you're ready, exhale, fold. Sometimes it's easier to take the bind once you're folded. Take your time, feel those 3 points in the right foot. Spreading the base of the foot. Maybe micro bending the right leg. And then just notice, where can you soften? Come into the breath. Focus the mind on the breath. If you have both hands, maybe trying to wrap the left arm behind, keeping the right hand on the floor. Good. One more breath. We're going to take our time coming out of it. Inhale, look up and lengthen. As you exhale, press through the right foot, tailbone gets heavy, and as you come up, reach the left knee back if it's in Lotus. Woo. Exhale, release the foot. Good. Shake it out. Top of the mat, feet together. Inhale, arms over your head, palms touch. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, separate jump back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. If you need an alternative to jumping through, you can lower the knees, cross the feet, and sit back behind the feet. Good, Dandasana. Straighten the legs out in front of you. The hands next to your hips. Find the heels rooting into the earth, the sit bones plugging into the earth, the spine lengthening, and the chin moving towards the heart. And then the hands can just be there next to the hips. Settle into the breath. Notice the pathway of the breath as you. And to support this pathway, allow the lower ribs to expand out, to make more space for the breath to make more space for the diaphragm to fully spread out. Unrestricted. We'll take one more breath here. Keep the spine long, keep the rib cage floating above the pelvis. We'll move into Paschimottanasana, releasing that inhale, folds forward, catch the big toes, or you can also just have the fingertips on the floor. Exhale, fold. And as you fold, feel the lower belly lengthening over the thighs so that you can keep that length as you fold. Keep lengthening as you fold. And even once you're in the final expression of Paschimottanasana for you, keep that sense of lengthening as you release along the spine. Keeping the legs strong, the feet awake. As you flex the toes back, reach forward through the base of the big toes. One more breath here. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Fully exhale. Let's go straight into Purvottanasana. Point the feet. Reach the hips, the hands behind the hips, fingertips pointing forward. And then to move into this back bend, first we're going to sort of like tuck the tailbone. So allow the pelvis to rotate by reaching the sit bones towards the heels. And as you inhale, keep reaching the sit bone towards the heels, the feet towards the floor. As you lift the pelvis, maybe drop the head back. Keep lifting the heart between the shoulder blades. Keep lifting the pelvis as you keep the feet together and keep reaching the toes towards the floor. Deep breaths. Draw the lower belly in. We'll take one more breath here. Exhale. Lower it down. Good. Let's take a vinyasa. Cross the shins or the ankles. Inhale, lift up or roll over the feet into a plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. Let's jump through to seated. First, we'll come into Janu Shirshasana before doing Lotus again. So bending the right knee and let the knee fall over to the side, maybe propping the knee up with a block. If you have any tension in the knee, inhale, square the shoulders over the left leg. Exhale, fold. You can play around with the grip here, either catching onto the foot or the wrist, or the right hand can catch the inside of the left foot. And then the left hand can be on the fingertips, helping you to square the shoulders over the left leg. As you use the right hand to pull on the inside of the left foot, and you reach forward to the base of the left big toe. And that gives you a little bit of tension to help you find that length as you fold. Keep rolling the right thigh back and down, so allowing the right sit bone to gently move towards the floor to lengthen the side of the right body. One more breath. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, release. Good. Let's stay on this side and come into Lotus. So drop the tailbone, bring the foot. As you keep the knee joint closed, bring the foot up towards the left hip crease. And then once the leg is in Lotus, then you can sit up tall. Wrap the right arm behind you, maybe taking the bind. Again, the palm faces down, catches the big toe side of the right foot. Maybe use a strap. Wrap a strap around the foot and hold onto the strap. Inhale, either catch the outside of the left foot, or you can have the fingertips on the outside. Exhale, fold, if you haven't already. Good. And also just check in here. Make sure that the right hip isn't way back behind the left hip. That's a tendency sometimes. As we're getting in, we bring the hips out of alignment. So just make sure that that right hip is forward in line with the left hip. And sometimes an indication of that will be if the right knee is kind of pointing out to the side too much. So just depending on the proportions, it should be more or less at a diagonal. Good, we'll take a couple more breaths here. If you weren't able to take the bind when you're sitting up, maybe try the bind in the forward fold. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale there. Good. Let's take a vinyasa. Inhale, lift. Exhale, jump back, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. To the left side, bend the left knee. Inhale, square the shoulders. Exhale, fold. And again, if you want, take the bind you usually take, or left hand catches the inside of the right foot. Right fingertips are on the floor, finding the squaring direction. That right leg is strong and the right foot is awake. Good. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release. And drop the tailbone. Close the knee joint and bring the foot up towards the right hip and then sit up tall. Make sure that left hip is in line with the right hip so the knee isn't pointing out. Maybe taking the bind. Inhale. Catch the outside of the foot or fingertips on the floor. Exhale, fold. Good. Maybe you're using the strap to make your arms longer. Good. One more breath. Inhale, look up. Exhale there. Good. Release that. Inhale, lift up. Or just roll over the feet. Exhale. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. Okay. We're going to do a little bit more hip work because I'm building us up towards a pose in second series that sort of combines like shoulder opening and the lotus. So first we're going to do a variation of Marichyasana C, where you're going to bring the right ankle above the left knee like a figure 4 and bend the knee. So we're just going to do this first and then we'll go into the Marichyasana C. But this is a nice variation for Marichyasana C. So we'll do this first. So you can either have the fingertips behind you, lifting the heart, and then depending on how bent or straight the left leg is, will determine how deep you are into it. So just kind of find your edge. And then if you want, maybe some of you have done this variation with me, you can bring the arms above the shin on either side of the left foot and just catch the left foot. Kind of catching the middle of the foot on the inside and the outside. And then keep lifting the heart and moving the knee towards the floor. Good. If this is too much, you feel like the spine is super rounded here, that it's putting pressure in the lower back, just bring the fingertips behind you and lift the heart. We'll just take a couple more breaths here. And so for Marichyasana C, you can either stay here, you can bring the foot underneath the left leg, or you can bring that foot. So go ahead and straighten that left leg, and you can either bring that foot into the half lotus, and then as you have to sort of like lean over to the side a little bit to bend the left knee, and then come back towards the center. So you bring that left foot alongside the outside edge of the left hip as close as you can to the left sit bone. And then maybe you fold forward. So sometimes I like to kind of like come over to the right. So to like allow the side of my torso to really clear the inside of the left thigh and then come over towards the center to fold. So you can just fold here if you'd like. And then if you'd like, you could also bind it up, bringing the left arm, wrapping it around the shin towards the back, and then the right hand meets it. Good. And then fold forward. For me, my ankles are really like tender, so I kind of have to activate the foot a bit. So instead of allowing the foot to sickle, press the outside edge of the right foot into the left thigh so that the ankle sort of activates a little bit. And if you have the bind, if you're working on the bind here, thinking about reaching the elbows away from each other. Good. So remember, you can be in that first variation that we worked on, or you can do this with the foot tucked underneath. This is my least favorite because you're not working so much the hip opening, but if you just want to work on the bind, this is a great one. All right, one more breath wherever you are. Inhale, look up. Exhale. Good. Let's take a vinyasa. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, jump back. Feel free to go at your own pace. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. All right, so bringing the left ankle above the right knee and then bending the right knee to plant the foot and then find your level of depth. Maybe the foot is considerably away from the right sit bone and the hands are behind you, or you bring the chest towards the left leg and reach over to catch the right foot. Good. And if you're catching the foot, or wherever you are, think about lifting the heart and reaching the knee, or gently moving the knee towards the floor, so away from the body. So just like activates the external rotation a bit. Deep breaths, moving deeper into the hips, into the rotation of the hip. Good. And when you're ready, you can move into Marichyasana C. This is Marichyasana B. I've been saying Marichyasana C. This is Marichyasana B. Good. I hope somebody had caught that before I did. I was just testing you. So bring the left foot into Lotus, or stay in the first variation we did, or tuck it under. So again, I like to lean over to the side, plant the foot, and then again lean over to the side to fold forward, just to sort of clear the foot, because the foot kind of gets in the way sometimes. And then come to the center and just fold forward in the center, or bind it up. Exhale, fold whenever you're ready. You don't have to touch the floor, folding to whichever point. Reaching the elbows away from each other if you have that bind. Maybe pressing the outside edge of the foot into the right hip. Good. A couple more breaths. Inhale, coming out of that. Good. And let's take a vinyasa. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, jump back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, jump through to seated. Let's do 3 Navasana, just to take a little break from the hips. Come onto your, just behind the sit bones, and you can either have the feet on the floor, the feet in line with the knees, or the legs straight. For 1, deep breath. 2, 3, 4, 5. Cross the shins, hands in front of the hips. Inhale, lift. Exhale, come down. We'll just do 2 more. Navasana. 1, where we have the legs straight. Knees bent, or toes on the floor. 2, lift the heart. Draw the lower belly in. 3, 4, 5. Cross the shins. Inhale, lift. Exhale, come down. Last one. 5, 4,
3, 2, 1. Let's come straight into Baddha Konasana from here. So bringing the feet together and pull the feet in towards the body. And first we'll just find a straight spine. Allow the sit bones plugging into the earth as you lift the heart and drop the chin. Releasing, feel the inner thighs. See if you can start to notice if there's any tension in the inner thighs. You can stay here or inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward. You can keep the hands on the feet or reach forward, come onto the fingertips and relax the neck to help you lengthen through the sides of the body. Feel the lower belly lengthening over the feet. Deep breaths. And one more breath here. Inhale, rise up, exhale there. Bring the knees together. Good, cross the shins, inhale, lift up, exhale, jump back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, now we're going to play around with Vatayasana. So first we're going to do a variation without the lotus, just to figure out the setup, and then we'll try with the lotus if you like. So first you're just going to bring the right foot forward behind the right wrist, and then the left knee comes to the floor. So you sort of end up in this kneeling position. So, and I'll face this way so you can see. So you're kneeling on the left foot, on the left knee, and then the right knee is lifted, the right foot is planted, and you're turning the right foot out. And so there's lots of different opinions on where this right foot should be. I like to have it a little bit far away from the left knee. It's technically easier, it's more stable, but sometimes people like to have that heel right in front of the left knee, and you can already see how that's like a little bit more unstable. So find a stable position here, and then we combine the arms. So the right arm is going to come above the left arm, bend the elbows and bring the palms together. So it's like eagle arms. I think they call this in vinyasa. And then as you press the feet down and reach the tailbone towards the floor, reach the elbows in the opposite direction. So you lift the elbows and then you gaze up towards the hands. Good. This is such a nice shoulder opening. Good. Let's just take a couple more breaths here. Maybe play around with the position of that right foot if you want. Keep pressing the right foot into the mat. Reach the tailbone down, draw the lower belly in, and lift through the elbows. Good. Exhale, release. And let's just switch sides. So now bring the right knee down and the left knee up. Good. Okay, so now I'm sorry, I did the wrong. So now we did the wrong arm, but we'll do the right arm on the next one. So now bring the left arm on top, because it's the lotus leg is the arm on top. So it's okay, I don't want to confuse you. Just bring the left arm on top. Palms together, or whatever they can touch. I get like my fingertips touch like the bottom of the hand. And then you can even give a little squeeze. The elbows sort of squeeze each other. So as you press through the feet, tailbone gets heavy. Draw the lower belly in and lift through the elbows. Good. Deep breaths. As you root down, reach up for one more breath. Good. Exhale, release. Okay, we're going to take a vinyasa and meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, step back into a plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So only if you have a comfortable lotus. You're going to bring the right leg into a lotus position from downward facing dog. So you might need, you might be able to slide it up, or you might need to use the left hand. So it's like a little bit of a balance moment in downward facing dog. The left hand to grab onto the right foot and pull it up. You'll have another chance to adjust it in a minute. And then you're going to hop the left foot forward and bring the right knee to the floor. Yeah? And so maybe you're just going to focus on the foundation without even integrating the arms. That's why I wanted to do it first so you know what happens with the arms. And then now here's where you start to play around with the position of the left foot. So once the right knee is on the floor, you can either bring the heel right in front of the right knee, or I would suggest just taking a wide stance, especially if this is your first time trying. Allow the left heel to be far away from the right knee and turn the left foot out. It's going to give you more stability. And then just see if you can lift up and find your balance. It might be a lot on the knee. Maybe you keep the butt out a little bit at first, but eventually you bring the hips forward to bring the chest up. So if you're by a wall, it's actually kind of, I just used the wall a little bit when I was about to fall. Good. And if you feel stable, you can do the arms. So now the arms, it's the lotus leg is the arm, that side is the arm that's on top. So the right arm comes on top of the left arm. And then again, you find that dropping down. So I like to feel the tailbone getting heavy as the elbows reach up. Good. Maybe you're just working on the foundation and finding your balance. So that's already a lot. So again, you can start to lift up as you bring the hips forward. That also deepens the lotus a little bit. So notice that. Good. If you fall, it's okay. I've fallen so many times out of this. Let's try here for about one more breath. Maybe you're just on the hands on the floor, just kind of getting used to that. Good. Okay. From there, you can bring the hands to the floor and jump back into a downward facing dog. There's a whole vinyasa and transition involved with this. But for now, we'll just kind of go from downward facing dog, release the left foot, and then bring the left leg into downward facing dog. You might need to use the right hand to pull the leg up. When you're ready, hop the right foot forward, place the left knee down. And then if you want here, after you place the right foot, again, a bit wide, take a wide stance. Before you come up, you can keep the left hand on the floor and then again adjust the lotus. So you can use the right hand to kind of like wiggle the foot in the hip crease if it's not very comfortable. That's kind of a nice moment to work on it. And then make your way up. Again, if you have a wall next to you, it's kind of nice. And then as you lift the chest up, the hips come forward and the tailbone stays heavy. Draw the lower belly in. If you want to add the arms in, left arm over the right arm, and reach the arms up. Or not, or just keep the hands on the floor and get used to that foundation. Good, I see a lot of you trying, so cool. And again, if your lotus isn't comfortable, just work on the variation we did before. Same foundation, but the left leg is not in lotus. So take a couple more breaths. And if you need to stay low, that's okay too. And what I mean by low is you keep the hips kind of like out, like backwards, and the chest is kind of low. Because it's a whole process to kind of stand up like straighter and taller. Good. When you're ready, you can jump back. You can kind of like lift up the left knee and then jump the right foot back into downward facing dog. And then release the lotus. Good. Jump through to seated. Good. That's a tricky one. Oh, it wasn't too tricky. All right, let's lie down. Hopefully you had fun with it. It's the horse pose, the horse face pose. All right, lie down. Bend the knees, plant the feet alongside the outside edges of the hips. I'm gonna take inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, reach the tailbone forward and the knees forward. Inhale, press through the feet and lift the pelvis up. For bridge pose, just kind of settling into back bends here for a moment. Catch the ankles or interlace the fingers. Lengthening the front of the body, opening the front of the hips. Good, on your next exhale, roll down the spine. Good, and we'll do 2 more back bends. If you like, you can go into Urdhva Dhanurasana. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, reach the knees forward, the tailbone forward. Inhale, lift into bridge or Urdhva Dhanurasana, hands next to the ears. Just settling in. You don't have to go to your edge. Go whatever feels right for you today. Good. And when you're ready, you can come down and work into your 3rd and final back bend. Lifting through the sacrum. Lengthening the front of the body. And stay with the breath. When you're ready, you can slowly lower down. Hug the knees in. And rock up to seated. Straighten the legs. Exhale, fold. I'll take a few more breaths here. Slowing down the breath. Keeping the attention on the breath, the sounds of the breath, listening to the breath as it moves in and out through the nostrils. Okay. Just a couple more here. Inhale, look up. Exhale there. Good. Let's take a vinyasa. Inhale, lift. Exhale, jump back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's do headstand as our closing postures. Of course, if you want to do the full closing and do shoulder stand as well, feel free to do that now. But if you want to stay with me in headstand, interlace the fingers and bring the elbows shoulder width apart. And then you can tuck the toes, lift the hips, and bring the crown of the head to the mat. You can stay here, ease up anywhere along that pathway, or you can bring the hips over the shoulders, maybe coming into a tuck, maybe straightening the legs. Finding the straight line wherever you are, whether the legs are up or the feet are on the floor, pressing through the elbows to stabilize the shoulders. Deep breaths, maybe even slowing down the breath. You can also be in dolphin where the head is off the ground. Five, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, slowly make your way to child's pose, keeping the knees together and bringing the head towards the floor. You can have the arms reaching out in front of you or bring the arms alongside the body. Okay, when you're ready, let's take a vinyasa. Inhale into a plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. So if you want, you can find full lotus since we warmed up the hips quite a bit. Either the right leg first for the more conventional way of coming into full lotus, or the left leg first. Good. Or just take a comfortable seat. Maybe wrapping the arms for the bind. So if the right leg came into lotus first, the left arm binds first. So the top leg is the arm that binds first. And then maybe binding the other arm. Good. Inhale. This is a really hard pose for me. Deep breath in. Exhale. Fold forward. Or if you're not in lotus, you can also just grab onto opposite forearms. And if it's too far to bring the forehead to the floor, the chin to the floor, you can bring the head to a block if you want that extra support. Notice the breath, follow the breath. On your next inhale, rising up and bringing the wrist towards the knees, the pointer towards the thumb. Gently straightening the arms, lengthening the spine, and dropping the chin. Settle the mind on the breath. Watch as the breath unfolds. Releasing tension in the throat, tension behind the eyes, and tension in the diaphragm. Finding a pace that works for you, where you find your fullest breath, but without straining. Just a couple more breaths here. And over the next couple of breaths, gently release all technique. Feel free to close the eyes. Release the tone in the vocal cords. Release the lower belly. We'll bring the palms to heart center for the closing mantra. Inhale, deep breath in. Swasti prajabhyaha paripalayantan nyayena margena mahim mahishaha ko brahmanebhyaha shubhamastu nityam loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. When you're ready, you can make your way to Savasana for a final resting. You can take a vinyasa if you want, or you can just go straight there. Completely relaxing the body. Releasing the tension behind the eyes. Tension in the throat. Releasing all engagement, all technique. Feel free to stay here longer if you'd like. But if you're ready to gently come out, you can make movements with the body, deepen the breath. Maybe reach the arms over your head for a deep breath in. Exhale, sighing it out. And falling over to either side of the body. And slowly making your way to a seated position. Feel free to take a final moment here in a seated position with the eyes closed if you'd like, or you can keep the eyes half open. Settling in before moving on with the rest of your day. A moment to appreciate the time and space that we've made for the practice. Appreciate being able to move these bodies and the breath, just giving life to it all. Feeling the residue of movement and gratitude. Thank you, everyone.